I'm sorry I'm late, guys. I've just had a problem setting everything up. I'm just going to show you this. The music. I'll leave the music running. 2 seconds. I've just got to. So we got Cleo,
Hi.
we've got Juliani and Christina. Okay, so let me just go back to their shot first, and I can put this camera on, and I just want to see how many people are watching. Okay, so everybody's unmuted now, so you can say hello, but you can't hear anything because they don't talk back.
That's all right. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
I'll just see if anybody's online. We all might be watching Andrew's sunset.
Or, we're talking into thin air, but we're watching the sunset too, so it's
I
okay.
know.
It's rather magnificent.
Okay, let's just do this. I'm putting this onto here.
Yeah.
Oh God! And then this goes around like
If
this.
we're watching Tim playing with this kit, it might be misconstrued.
Okay. I'll just move to this camera. Okay, so this is the camera,
Wow.
Good, I'm off camera, I can eat things.
and so that's on there like that. Is that? Oh, that's loose. So we got to do it like that.
That's live.
That's live.
Da-da-da.
Okay, ladies and jelly spoons.
Bit of info if you want.
Oh, just
Got a
somebody
message.
messaging. No, ignore messages. Ignore the messages. Right, I'm going to put my earphones on. So, can you hear me? Yes, they can hear me. Actually, they can. That's very good. And sound check, Fisa.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or a hendo 3 cahar cuig.
Heen, 3 gaat goed. A bit more.
In Irish, a hendo 3 cahar cuig. Sé seach tocht mé dieg.
No, it's not working.
Acht.
No.
No, nobody's going to hear me. I'm the only Irish that I know, and no one is listening.
No, the only is,
I
And-
can hear.
yeah, but you can hear it through somebody else's, because this is the actual thing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. Oh, here we go, YouTube. So I said that we're online.
So nothing I say. Oh, well, I can.
127 people watching.
There you
Oh
go.
my God, and lots of comments, and it's all probably going to be, where are you? Where are you? Okay,
We
so
could
that's
share a microphone
done
too,
like
couldn't
that.
we?
I've got to do this. They're actually very, very directional.
Okay.
They're very directional, so.
I just
Okay.
see when I'm speaking, the little lights on your new desk are popping up. I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
they can hear you through those, but they
Right.
can't hear you through this thing, unfortunately. I don't know why.
It's typical.
I can share
I
this.
che- I-
Typical. Nah, typical.
Typical.
I know.
Give the Irish woman the mic that doesn't work.
Okay.
I'm going to read all sorts into
Let's take this one out and see if it works in the high Z. I'm just going to check.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4,
There you
5.
go.
Now I'm on live and exclusive. No, not exclusive.
Nice. There you go. It's actually picking up a lot of the C as well, that one. Because it's a condenser mic.
Okay, it's
not
actually
the
not
sea,
the
it's
sea.
the
It's
garbage.
a street cleaner. But
Oh, it's a street cleaner. That's the nice C. That's nice.
yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, I don't even know what we're in. Oh, yeah, balcony banter.
And he hasn't
We
touched
don't
the
even have the
blinds.
light on. I'm going to put the light on in a minute. It's right next to it's the foot switch just inside the door there, Giuliani. Okay, let's get balcony banter on the road. Here we go. 1,
Okay.
2. So we're live there. Now I've got to go wide with mine and see if I can get Cleo in the frame. There we
I can
go.
change my seat if you wish.
Move it over to me.
Or over there.
No. Come to me, and then I will go wide with me and turn this one like that. Is Cleo in the frame?
Am I in the frame?
Beautiful.
Yes, you are.
There you go.
There you go.
Lucky frame.
So all we got to do now is that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are okay? Everybody's unmuted?
Yep.
The music's still playing, is it? No?
And Cleo's eating pickles.
Cleo's eating pickles. There you go. That one doesn't work, but that one does. So you can hear this? Oh, yeah. COVID-19. Okay, I'm not going to do it just now, but I will do it in a minute. I have got the latest details, but... stop that. Okay, there we go. Let's see who's online. Okay, first of all, we'd like to say thank you very much to Andrew Horseman. You're supporting the channel every time. We like to thank you. Our regular donators are fantastic. Thank you, all of you guys, for supporting the channel there. Let's go back to make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Gordon was the first guy in on the top chat. Sharon says, hey everyone, hope you're well. I'm frozen. I'm not frozen.
Do we have to sing?
No, we don't have to sing. Hi all from Windy Western Supermare. Good evening, Tim and Christina. Thank God you're on. The wife was looking at narrow boats. You have saved my life. That was Bob the tree surgeon. Okay, a fortune, sorry, not your life. So Tim emailed you last week saying I spoke with Jet2 and they wouldn't help with the COVID certificates. Now they're offering 25% back on the cost. It's a start. Oh, well done. That's well. Jet2's doing well. But I think, you know, as I say, things are changing every 5 seconds now, so keep an eye out for any changes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The soft sound, Tim. The reason it's soft is, I don't know. I don't think it is that soft. I'll put a little bit more
By
gain.
soft, do they mean low?
Yeah, there's nothing in there. Let's do that.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got the ear up as far as I can go at the moment without peaking, so it should be okay by now. Okay, hi Tim, thought the Monday show was brilliant. Fair play to Andrew when he realised he got his days mixed up. He's actually going to go live today for the sunset, so he's probably on now. So that's why we've only got 174 watching, because everybody's watching Andrew's sunset. But as I said,
missing out.
no, but as I said to Andrew, it's a different audience. The audience that we have here is slightly different to the audience that Andrew has, right? So we know that the people who want to listen to us on Balcony Bounty on a Wednesday will come and hello. And it's not a race. It isn't a race to get as many people watching as possible. It's to give you the best quality that we can.
True.
That's what it is. So as long as you feel like you're getting quality, that's fine.
Let your vibe attract your tribe.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Exactly. Let your vibe
Attract your tribe.
attract your tribe.
Oh.
I quite like that.
And we've got a multicultural tribe tonight.
Yeah. And actually, I'm off the wagon, so I do have a glass of wine. So cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Yes.
The
I was
topic
gonna say
today,
that we had 4 nationalities, but I believe we have 3.
only 3 nationalities. Oh, they're both Germans.
They're both Germans.
Bloody Germans, bombed our chippy, they did.
Ah.
Hi, Tim and Christina. Hope you're friends. I hope you're looking well. Okay, Tim and Christina, Union, I hope you're all well. Everybody's saying fantastic. If I miss your comment, I do apologise. Hola from a very cold Cork City, Sean Twig.
Sean, how are you, Sean? Tui, Connors the thought to.
No, Andrew's not on yet. He said he was going to go on at 18:45, so don't worry about it. But anyway, as I say, today's topic is, well, I'll tell you what it was. I was talking to Cleo here, and she was saying about she's doing an article for
World Report on
World-
RTE Radio.
World Report on
Report.
RTE, because I'll introduce who Cleo is in a minute, for those of you who don't know. But she's doing a report, and the report was to do with the Irish not going home for Christmas, right?
Among other things.
Among other things. And so I came up with the idea that maybe we'd like to discuss something about how do we deal with change.
Yeah.
So things are changing for the better, things are changing for the worse. Most people think it's the worst, but it depends on your outlook, of course. And so basically what I want to be able to do is to discuss how do we deal with change. And I'm going to throw that open to the group right now while I go and get some lights and have a crisp. So,
Have a crisp.
yeah,
Have a-
I've been. If anybody else wants to listen to themselves, no,
No, that's fine.
okay,
Do you want to put it on?
no, you don't have to.
No.
Nobody's in the room.
Okay.
I'm not. I've not opened the room because Ian said he'd coming in at the end.
Okay.
So, but the sound sounds fine. The
Yeah.
sound really does sound fine. So I'm quite happy with that. And there's no music playing. New follower, thanks to Andrew and Lee. Stuart Adams. Stuart Adams, welcome. Thank you.
Hi,
The
Stuart.
vibe and the tribe. The vibe and the tribe. So I'm going to push this round to Cleo slightly. There you go. So you can start
change.
discussing
Yeah.
the change. And I should be right back.
I'll jump in. I think I'm not saying you have to have kids, but having kids, I have a 15-year-old, and watching her not just deal with, but kind of casually adapt to what's gone on for the last 8 months has left me slightly awestruck by how easy it has become for her. I mean, she now goes to school at 2 in the afternoon. She comes home when it's dark at 7. Loads of different things have happened to her and to her life. And she's fine.
So she adapted quite quickly
She
to
adapted.
change.
She adapted quickly. She still gripes. She still says that she thinks she wishes, she gives out about wearing masks because I'm a bit of a know-it-all. She gives out to me when I say to her there's new infections or there are new restrictions, and she gets annoyed when I actually want to curtail her freedoms. But she doesn't leave home without her mask, and she puts it on, and she has just she didn't even question whether there was anything she could do about COVID. She knew that it was something beyond her control,
Exactly.
and she just had to accept.
So it's like it's something bigger that's happening, and obviously we cannot really control it. We can only do our bit of it, and come out at a better place out of the whole situation.
That's the hope.
And
isn't
then
it?
go with the flow.
Yeah.
And make the best out of the whole situation. And then this is sort of like a transition period, I guess, that everyone is sort of finding themselves and in the new order.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And I mean, one of the things I hope, I suppose, and this might sound odd, is that if the vaccine works and if we have 3 vaccines or 4 vaccines, and this time next year, everyone's saying, oh God, do you remember 2020 when COVID was ruining our lives? I actually think there are things we can learn. We probably
Absolutely.
have learned without realizing it.
Would you say that like looking then back, like say next year or in 2 years, looking back at the 2020, we're gonna say, or some of us are gonna say, oh, what an amazing year, or do you remember that was amazing, and this was actually something I could grow from or learn from, and actually this was something so impacting my life, but to a better, not to worse.
Yeah, I think there has to be positives we have to take out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even thought about what is it for me. I Zoom with my sisters every Sunday. So I talk to my 2 sisters in Ireland, one in Cork, one in Dublin.
Yeah.
I talk to them more than I've ever spoken to them. I phone my father nearly every day. I haven't done that in the 20 years that I've moved here.
Yeah.
So I have more contact with my family back in Ireland.
Yeah.
But I also feel that I belong here more,
Yeah.
in a way. Like I'm not going home for Christmas for the first
Yeah.
time in 20 years. So myself and the kid are saying, okay, we have to do our own thing this year. We're not going to be sitting in front of my dad's open fire,
Yeah.
eating Christmas cake on Christmas Day. Which I will miss, Christine. I will miss the cold for 10 days. I'm
absolutely.
really going to miss it. But there isn't a choice, okay? We decided back in September for our safety, for my dad's safety. So what's the positive? We're going to make some incredible memories this year.
Yeah.
And we will look back at 2020. People are dying. There's an incredibly dangerous virus going around. So we can't forget that. But there are so many other things that I think we've learned out of it.
Absolutely, and I think it's also if we switch the focus from what am I missing to what do I actually have,
Yeah.
because if we constantly focus on what am I missing, then we will always find something we're gonna miss. You know, whether we are back home in Ireland or in our
Home.
I mean, this is our home.
Yeah.
But in the home country, there will also be something that we miss, whether it's the nice weather here or the sunsets or the easy lifestyle. Everything has something missable.
Yeah.
But if we can get to that shift and shift the focus more on how abundant we actually are. That this is actually great to stay here and
Exactly.
or stay at home this year, because it really spells growth and going inward, and also seeing the abundance we actually have, being more grateful for what we have, maybe.
Will it also strengthen our communications with people outside our little bubbles here? I mean, I think it has in my case.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
Like we said it before that I met Christine and Tim in the period during lockdown.
Okay.
And that it has evolved to something so beautiful and into such an amazing routine. Every Wednesday we're doing our balcony banter. Tim and Christine have been on my 30-minute mastermind, which also started during lockdown.
Okay.
So this is perfect, and it has given so many chances. We should rather focus on the chances we have, and that this is an amazing time, and it's maybe our best time to evolve.
Yeah. And I mean, we know, sorry, I haven't let Tim speak at all, but during...
I think it's great. I really do.
Since March, I mean, since the first lockdown that the whole world nearly experienced, the amount of time that I have spent with my 15-year-old who was growing apart, she wasn't growing apart from me, we were naturally beginning to move on with our own lives, but suddenly from March through to June, she wasn't allowed to leave our 2-bedroom apartment. So...
And how challenging was that?
It was wonderful. You know, she
right
ended up,
from the beginning.
They're pretty much so.
Okay.
We've always got on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it very quickly, she was organising the 5 to 6 keep fit routines that we were doing.
Okay.
And she was organising her own kind of study routine. But we were getting on. What are we going to watch tonight? Who's cooking? What are we
Right.
doing? So we had those 6 months. And she's possibly moving away next year. But for me, 2020 will also be a year where I spend quality time with my kid. We fought like cats and dogs.
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it also well. I just had my mom over for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And she's never here, basically. But she stayed 6 weeks with me in my apartment. And it was like, oh my God. But then after a certain period of time, I can actually say, like after 3 weeks, so yeah, it fits 21 days, you need to change a habit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, after that time, we got into our routine of giving each other space. Obviously, she giving me more space than I giving her, but she came here. She was interested in what I was doing. I was listening more to her, and it's about also maybe taking the time to listen.
Very much
to
so.
actually listen what the other one has to say, and not just jump in and oh yeah, I have to get my point across.
Yeah,
Because
exactly. Because this is my mother who's never listened to me before, or this is my daughter who thinks I'm an awful idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Because it isn't like that, and I mean we have here a lot of times where we just get together and listen to each other and to the audience what they have to say. Maybe
We've got lots of questions.
Oh, okay.
Go
Go
on.
They
ahead.
said we can't get a word in edgeways. And Donald Trump joined and says, you're fired.
Oh well,
But to you,
I am not necessary anymore.
I'm fired up. Yeah.
but the women are taking over.
So Sean said back, Tommy go ma.
Toshigama.
Toshigama.
Good.
No,
Which means he's fine, by the way.
Tommy go ma.
Yeah, Tommy. I asked him how was he,
Uh-huh.
and he says he's fine.
And that's Tommy go ma.
Tommy Gamai.
Tommy go ma.
Yeah, it depends on what part of Ireland you're from, you see.
What part of Ireland am I from now?
There's Donegal Irish, which would be Tommy Gamai.
Uh-huh.
And then there's Galway and there's Leinster and there's
What
Munster
about
Irish.
Dublin?
All these languages.
Dublin, you'd say, you're grand.
You're grand.
You're grand,
North
Sean,
side
you're
or south
grand. South side, please.
South side, okay. Okay, so Andrew's not live. Well, that's way old. That's way old. Got a lot more questions. So Steve says, how optimistic are you about the vaccine? We'll come to the vaccine in a minute when we do the COVID thing. Tim might not need you in the future. The two guests are there each week. Yeah. Trouble in the UK, you have a heart attack, kidney failure, and all COVID related, and it's wrong, says Bob the tree surgeon. Mm-hmm. You could get a pint and put your feet up, Tim. I could actually go and get a pint and put my feet up, Tim. Unfortunately, I don't have a pint, so I've got a little bit of wine. Can we have the COVID stats, please, says Paul Cross.
Oh.
For those of you waiting for the COVID stats,
All right.
I shall do them right now. So we're going to do the COVID music,
Do you have COVID music?
Oh yeah.
This is my first time here.
Do you want to listen to it?
Go on, let me hear the COVID music.
Actually, I prepared everything, but it's all gone out the window here.
Go on, I'm listening to
The
the COVID,
COVID
music.
Hang on,
music.
hang on, hang on. So let me get the.
And I'll do the COVID dance.
Okay.
Is there a vaccine drum roll?
There is actually a vaccine drum roll, yeah. So tell me what you hear. Nothing.
Nothing.
It's because.
That doesn't mean there's no infections, though.
No, because this one is coming up.
No.
No?
Does that mean we have to sing?
No. Okay, let's not do that. You'll hear this one though.
Yes.
Yeah? Too loud?
Yeah. That's perfect.
Okay. Put your thumbs up when it's finished. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the COVID cast, and here we are. So let me go straight ahead and put the COVID thing around us. And now I'm going to go here and do the first one, which is this one. I'm going to bring this back to me because I'm the star of the show now.
The star and the audience loves
Star of the
you.
show. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, so actually the whole of the Canary Islands went down since the last time we spoke. There are only 4,166 active cases in the whole of the Canary Islands. Most of those people are at home. I can't actually see how many people are in hospital, but I think it's about 100 and something, and 35 or 95 in ICU, whole of the Canary Islands. But Tenerife, for some reason, is not going down as fast. In fact, it's still going down, but it's 2,500 now. We're about 3,000 last week, 2,500. So it is coming down, but not as fast as the Canary Islands as a whole. So most of the people that got better in somewhere else, not
Other
Tenerife,
islands.
and other islands. So at the moment, if we swing very quickly to, and this time I'm showing Adeje first, because Adeje has more active cases than Arona for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Don't worry.
So there's 106 active cases there, of which I can't see 11 people in hospital and 2 in ICU. So it is bad, but it's not that bad. If you think we've got 50,000 people in Adeje, that many people are infected. It's those people getting infected. We've looked at the stats. It's not really the tourists. It's not really the expats. It is big families, I think, that's doing it. So unless you're an expat with a big family, I suppose. I'll just put Cleo in here for a second.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, if we can mention the fact that, in fact, Adeje got really worried about the fact that this borough in particular, where we are, started to spiral out of control. And they launched their own campaign at the start of the week on Monday, and they've released a video and about 4 different posters, those kind of posters where you see a double image. So you have somebody wearing a face mask and a breathing mask, a respirator. And the slogan is Adeje chooses life.
Yeah.
So you can choose which mask you want to wear, you can choose which window you want to look out of, somebody looking from a hospital window. I've had a couple of people complaining to me that it's really hard hitting.
It's not only hard hitting. A lot of people, but a lot of people are saying it's propaganda. And what do you say to that?
Propaganda for what?
Yeah, well, I mean,
for masks?
Yeah, that's one guy said they got loads of masks in the warehouse they've got to sell.
Yeah, that was. We know who that was.
Okay, right. Okay.
I mean,
So they are trolls, basically.
They're not trolls, but I think that I'm sure you've talked about this before. There are people who have set ideas about what is being done right and what's being done wrong about COVID-19 since the start, and I don't think they're going to change their minds. You know, and
so
I know there's
the change thing isn't going to hit them.
No.
The ability to change, doesn't it?
I mean, the debate about masks is enormous.
Okay.
You know, again, talking about my kid, she has, and God bless her, I hope she's not listening, but she has developed a range of spots that go all the way around her face here, just where the mask fits on.
Oh dear.
And she's not the only one.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people in her class have the same. They're wearing them from 2 to 7 in school every day, non-stop.
I know lots of people with spots on the chins.
There you go. So,
because they just wear the mask down there.
Exactly, yeah. And there's probably some that have spots on their elbows.
The beauticians are getting more work for that.
Well, so are the toning or the tonic water makers
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Let's just finish up the COVID thing with the stats, and then we'll carry on talking. 100 in Arona, active cases, and the rolling average for 7 days at the moment is, let me get this, is still above 50. So it's around about 58. It came down and it's on the way up again, but the rolling average, and that's the one that does the traffic lights, am I right?
Okay.
The rolling day average on if it's under 50, then we have the possibility to go to orange or green.
And Tenerife hasn't at all gone to green yet.
No, but
We're the only island who hasn't.
but we're still above the rolling average of above 50 cases per 7 days.
Yeah.
So that's not a good thing. One of the questions here was about the virus. Let me just go back to everybody now. Let's solo us, and then go back to balcony banter so you can see everyone. So you got to smile again, Chris. She's having a resting face on a resting face. There we go.
It's not very, very good looking.
I'm not very good looking.
No, the resting.
The
face.
resting
The
face.
resting face.
Okay.
I don't know, it inspires calm.
It
Yeah,
does.
it
Yeah,
does.
it's like Angela Merkel.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. I'll let you know. No, that's not working. We'll just leave the lights and see how. Okay, so exactly. My father passed away in May. Had cancer. No treatment on the death certificate. COVID, said Sharon. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your father,
Wow.
and we're sorry to hear about on the death certificate was COVID. But
Aren't they doing that? Is that in the UK?
I think so. Yeah.
I know when I listen to the UK figures every day on Radio 4, which is what I happen to listen to, they will say these are the figures of the number of people who've died who have been diagnosed with COVID within the last 28 days.
Okay.
So COVID, if they have been diagnosed regardless of other conditions, goes on the death cert, doesn't it?
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Even though I've got this thing here, if you bang the table, it goes straight
Sorry,
through this bloody thing. No, it's
just my way of talking.
I know. It's just I didn't buy the wrong microphones, but
You bought the wrong table.
I bought the wrong table. Somebody's asking about where was it? I can't find it. Exactly. No, I've done that one. How optimistic are you of a vaccine actually working, or is it another myth from the British government? Says Steve Shrek 64. Steve, I'll answer this one from my opinion here, that vaccines do work in general, and I don't think that any government would release a vaccine that doesn't work. So, but when governments say we're going to have a vaccine very soon that works, that may be something you might want to. Okay, the government has to keep the people happy, otherwise you don't vote for them. And let's face it, you guys in the UK, don't do that again. Okay, next chance you get. So what we're talking about today, change.
Yeah, change.
Okay, well I don't want to get political.
Somebody with a title, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
So the vaccines do work, but if any government is going to say they're going to get one and push it straight out, I think that when a vaccine becomes available, and I know that some of our viewers are testing them, they are in the test groups, and it's going quite well. So I mean, there are positives, but if you want to, unless they make it compulsory, then there's going to be lots of debate about vaccines. And so we'll wait for that to develop, okay? But the government is saying we're hoping, but I don't think there's anything on the horizon that they can release to the public just yet, especially not for magic bullet and say we've got a vaccine, everything back to normal. I don't think that's going to happen. That's just my opinion, though.
There also seems to be quite a debate beginning about how long any vaccine will be effective.
All right.
Because, I mean, there are an increasing number of people who are saying, I was diagnosed with COVID back in March, and I've just got it again. So,
right.
If you're vaccinated next April, for the sake of argument, you get your 2 doses 1 month apart. Do you then also need to be vaccinated again in September?
Does that mean you can get COVID twice?
They are. A lot of people are getting COVID twice.
So what about all this herd immunity that we've been talking about?
Well, who was talking about it?
Okay, right.
I mean, look at Sweden again. Their numbers have shot up now.
Okay.
Even though a certain Mr. Trump says that he thinks God sent him the virus and he's now, I don't know if he's immune or divine or I can't quite work out what he thinks he is. But I mean, I mean, because Boris Johnson has just gone into quarantine again, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
but I think he's just been in quarantine because he was with somebody in the office who's got it, so he's got to self-isolate in case he infects somebody else. I don't think he's got it again.
But he could.
But he could, yeah, theoretically.
Exactly.
Wait 14 days and
Yeah.
find out.
So, but surely that, and this is completely non-medical training here in terms of my behalf. But if that is the case, then surely the vaccine, the same question must be asked of a vaccine.
That's true. That's true.
Hmm?
You know, as I say, I think what we need to be able to do is to wash your hands with soap and water. Don't touch your face. Wear your mask to protect others, and no hugging and kissing for people you don't know. And I think as long as you follow those simple rules, then you're going to be okay. Unless you go into a hotbed where it's really rife and you start hugging and kissing people, or you know, it's like a rave or something like that, then basically what you're going to find is it's only a matter of time before you get it. So if you can just hold back on the social things and go for those very simple rules: wash your hands, don't touch your face, wear a mask when you're around people, or all the time, depending on what country you're in, and don't hug and kiss, then I think life's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that change for me, I mean, I don't go down the pub anymore, right? And the reason I don't go down the pub anymore is because the pub I used to go to was quite full. And so I didn't want to, first of all, put Christina at risk.
Yeah.
And secondly, there's a lot of people that needed a lot of time to digest how to act. Yeah? And
Okay.
so to me, it was, what's the word? It was a personal choice. I didn't want to put myself at risk.
Yeah.
Right? And I did that by giving up drinking for a month, and so that worked, and it also helped me realise that I wasn't a raving alcoholic that I thought I was. Yeah, so I can go back to me 2 bottles of wine a day now.
That's right.
Result.
Ta-da! Here's one. I mean, I wonder, like you mentioned before, I was doing a piece for World Report today, and in it I mentioned the fact that where we live might, and this is me, just pure speculation, does it affect the rate of infection because we live in what is a hot country all year round?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
You mean it's like the flu, that it will be worse if it gets cold or whatever?
Yeah, I mean that the fact that does the virus actually not exist for as long on open surfaces here in the Canary Islands because we have high temperatures during the day? I mean, our average temperature is what, 23, 24 degrees centigrade?
That's
I don't
funny.
know. I'm just throwing that out there. We don't want the virus to change, since we're talking about change
That's true.
and adapting to change.
No. And how do viruses change? They change when you try and stop them.
Yeah,
So they learn from what you do, right?
they do.
And that's the tricky part
That
about
is the
it.
tricky part,
Exactly. So, I mean, I think the fact that we might have a vaccine or 2 vaccines now at the moment that are saying 95%, Pfizer has upped its effective ratio to 95% this morning. But that doesn't mean, I hope, that they're not going to keep. I mean, the flu vaccine we got last year is different to the flu vaccine you would get this year because they're constantly changing them, aren't
Right. Yeah, in fact, they sometimes they come out with 2 strains during the season, don't they?
they? Yeah, yeah.
We've got a couple of questions here.
Mutation.
One is from Jill Gardner. She says she's not brave enough to trial a vaccine, but we'll have to have it if it seems okay. Not that I really go anywhere, she says. And Andy Lee says a lot of people are not getting it twice. That's true. That's true. I think
Bless
Andy, you're right, but the
True.
logic is slightly flawed, because I remember getting stopped by the police and they say, we got 2 people to say they saw you speeding, and I say, I can get 500 people to say they didn't see me speeding. So,
But he's right. I mean,
but he is right, yeah.
The incidence of getting it twice is very low.
It's very low.
But haven't people been saying all along that the virus isn't eliminated until everyone has got the vaccine? I mean, again, that'll feed directly into the anti-vax.
The virus will never be eliminated.
Yeah.
I think that is something we've got to live with. That is the change that we need to know, and we have to be able to say, if you have the vaccine, you're going to be less prone to get it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to guarantee it, because the flu vaccine doesn't guarantee that either.
Yeah.
And it also doesn't guarantee that the virus isn't going to suddenly mutate
Exactly.
into something
Mutate.
else, right?
And
I
it
suppose you
all-
could have a whole argument about rubella or polio,
Yeah.
though, couldn't you? I mean, polio
Yeah,
is
but I think-
eliminated in certain countries.
I understand that, but it wasn't between July and Christmas that it eliminated it.
No,
So that means
absolutely.
in 20 years,
Yeah.
maybe we can.
And we'll be dealing with COVID-24 and COVID-27.
Exactly.
and-
So what I'm saying is, if you look at the polio and all the other things that we've got rid of,
Yeah.
right? That took a long time.
It did.
And
I agree.
And a lot of work. So I don't think there isn't going to be a magic bullet. The first
No,
vaccine that comes out is going to be a relief, but it's not the end. I think we really need to get used to the fact that the new world order is here,
Yeah.
and we've just got to get kinder. You know, so I think it's a catalyst to tell the human race to start looking after each other instead of trying to grab what you can, you know.
Okay.
And I am getting political. Why not? It's my channel. I'm getting political.
Bloody right.
So all you need to do is you need to be able to make sure that you and the people around you have enough. The only reason to look into somebody else's bowl is to make sure they've got enough.
Okay, I like that very much.
That's it.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just jealous of what people have got, or you're jealous that somebody's going to take yours away.
Yeah.
But if you go around and say the only reason you need to look into somebody else's bowl is just to make sure they got enough, and then you need to police yourself that you're not abusing the system or
Yeah.
abusing other people or
Yeah.
grabbing stuff
Yeah.
you know
That you don't need.
that you
Yeah,
don't need.
yeah.
Right?
Do you think that this is that kind of thinking is also a sort of mutation of people?
I think it might be. I think that I read a book called The Tipping Point,
Okay.
and we are at a tipping point now.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
can go one way or the other.
Yeah.
It can go the Bolsonaro, Trump, Johnson, and what's the guy in Hungary and Poland called?
Orban.
Orban, yeah. It can go that way. Or it can go the social way. I don't want to go communist or socialist, but it can go the other way too. Into caring, looking after people.
Yeah.
And I think we are, humans are inherently selfish.
Yes, they are.
But
But-
we have the affinity and the
Yeah.
intelligence to choose not to be.
To
Exactly.
change.
Right. So
And
I'm
if we
asking you
grow
all.
in awareness
Yeah.
that we have, I mean, we always have good and bad in us.
Mm.
There's always
Yeah.
ego. The ego is our false self,
Yes.
and
But mine's pretty
and,
cool.
it's our
Okay,
false
apart from
self, but
Tim.
it's there all the time,
Mm.
and it accompanies us wherever we go. But we can like you said choose, and I think more and more we become aware of making better choices, and choices that are not only selfish, that are not only towards us, but for the whole.
Yeah.
This is what I think is becoming stronger out of this whole situation that we are in right now.
It reminds me as well of discussions I used to have with an ex, who I won't name, who
How many extras have you got?
I'm 59. Where would you like to start?
An Irish girl, 59. She's probably got about 3
In each country.
in each country.
No, I mean, what I was going to say, because we were talking about this earlier as well, whether somebody is are they born inherently with traits such as selfishness or the ability to share, or is it something that's learned? Now, I come from a fairly nice middle class background in Dublin, where we weren't rich growing up, but we had a house, and we most of the time had the phone with the bill paid, not all the time. We were fine. We had food, we had roofs, we had coal to light the fire. And I grew up in a household that taught me that sharing was what was primary. That, you know, when you had enough for yourself, the rest was for other people.
Yeah, but I was in the same household. They all wanted my stuff, and they told me sharing was good.
But the ex grew up in a much more working class household in Barcelona. There, I've identified him now.
Oh, no.
But so he was brought up to believe that you grab
There's
what you can get.
only one ex in Barcelona.
Yeah, but that you grab what you can get. You take what you can get, because if you don't, somebody else will take it.
Okay.
and-
Spuds in a pan. I was
But it
invited to somebody's house one day for dinner, and they had spuds in a pan, and they gave us all a fork, and Mum came with the pan, and I was like the last end. It was like whoom, and that, you know, they'd gone. I had the little sort of runt spud at in the end.
But I mean, this attitude still exists in his adult life, that the government is out to be not to be screwed, but to be diddled a bit. That if you can get away with not paying tax, with not actually declaring what you're doing, with earning a little bit of extra on the side, that's how everyone else is doing it. So you keep it all for yourself, you stick it in your back pocket. Not saying that you steal, but that you just look out for number one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I have to
I
admit.
think I think there's a lot of people that do that, a lot of people who don't do that, and I think there's people who do that when it's necessary and don't do that when it's not necessary. So I think if you're always like that and you live your life like that, then
Exactly.
that's not too good. That's
Yeah,
not too good.
yeah.
But there is also times in your life
Where you have to.
where you have to, and
Yeah.
not only you have to, but it is correct to do so,
I
because
accept
if
that.
you don't have the strength to carry on, how can you help others?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
if you're in the position where you need to do something, then for you, then take that, because
Yeah.
you can only be good to others if you have the strength in yourself.
true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the questions now. We're having a great conversation today. But a lot of people have asked questions now. I believe they are not going to make it compulsory, but heavy restrictions on public movement in care homes, meaning there will be no option. So Gordon's
For the
comments,
vaccine.
yeah, for the vaccine. Andy Lee, we're not having the vaccine. Eat well, keep fit, and that will give you the best chance of fighting it. That is also okay.
Yep.
And then Peggy straight afterwards says, "Cheers, Tim. Have a glass of wine." So I'm having this.